the accountant's review, I believe that the accountant and or the park district had made some significant conceptual errors. They didn't understand the difference between inside millage and outside millage, and they were falsely accounting for it. I offered to review the spreadsheets in more detail, and I asked for a copy of their accountant's summary letter, which I was denied. I then received an email on October 15th. That email came from the senior audit manager of the Ohio Auditor of State, where he asked, has the Budget Commission received and reviewed or in the process of reviewing and approving the Russell Park Commission's fund balances? I replied to the auditor, advising him that I had met with Scott Wake the week before, and that I was planning on meeting with him again the following day, and we would know more after that meeting. On October 16th, I prepared the following documents with the help of Beverly to give the Park District an opportunity to understand how inside millage is different from outside millage and how to properly appropriate revenue so that the right amount is going inside versus outside. So every taxing authority has what's called a Schedule B from the auditor's office. Schedule B is an estimate of revenue that the taxing district should expect for a given year. This happens to be the one for the Park District for 2014. It is indicated as being a Schedule B. It is going to Russell Township, and Russell Township splits off that money which goes to the Russell Park District. And you can see that at a 98% collection, the estimated revenue would be about $27,000. Is it 27 or 37? 37. About $37,000 of inside millage. And then their levy would produce about $149,000, $150,000 worth of outside millage. And the way that a taxing entity figures out the distribution of inside to outside, when they're getting the money in a lump sum, is by using a ratio of estimated revenue to actual revenue. So the math is pretty straightforward. You add the total of the two levies, or the inside and the outside levy. You add that two number, use it as the denominator. You take the number for each component, make it the numerator, and you get a percentage. So in 2014, the percentage of inside millage component is roughly 20%. The percentage of outside millage component is approximately 80%. So the right course of action to take would be when you get your revenue check, you split off 20% to go to the general fund, 80% to go to the land acquisition fund. That's for 2014. This is the balance for 2015. You'll see the percentages change, and the reason they change is because the inside millage component got reduced. So it goes to 14% roughly to 86%. In 2016, it goes to about 8% and 92%. And then finally, in 2017, it went 0 and 100%. So I think it's pretty common sense once you see it graphically. We made it even easier for them. I presented this in a chart form. I circled what they needed to use this equation, it will work, and these are the rules that I applied to it. So they should take the revenue, apply the percentage that's required on a given year, and that's the proper allocation of inside and outside millage. On October 16th, I met again with Scott Wake. I provided him those spreadsheets, explained them in detail. I provided him both the background information of how that was derived as well as the summary. I again explained that 100% of the outside millage needed to go into the land acquisition fund because it was a restricted P40 fund. I also explained that it appeared to us that when the inside millage was reduced, the error that was made by the Park District was they reduced their levy revenue rather than their inside millage revenue. On October 25th, my Chief Compliance Officer issued a public records request to the 1545 Park District, as well as the outside accounting firm doing the corrections for the Park District, requesting the accountant's report that we had seen in prior meetings. And at that point, we were denied that public records request, saying that it was a draft copy. I believe that's an error, but that's their opinion. In summary, while denying my office the full review of the accountant's report, the 1545 commissioners have publicized and reported that they need to transfer $154,445 into their land acquisition fund from their general fund, leaving a balance in their general fund of $30,000. Despite repeatedly advising the 1545 commissioners to the contrary, they assert that their levy revenue had been previously distributed under an 80-20 rule, and 80% going into land acquisition, 20% going into general fund acquisition, general fund. And you can see the math is true for 2014 only. After 4 meetings with the 1545 chair, and providing them financial advice, fiscal guidance, and investing about 100 man-hours of your money to help the district resolve their accounting issues, the 1545 still does not seem to be able to grasp the concept that we are trying to communicate. Lastly, and probably most importantly, my chief compliance officer discovered last week that the 1545 commissioners have apparently failed to fulfill their obligation under 1545.05a, which requires that the bond shall be approved by and filed with the county auditor's office. My office does not have on file the park commissioners' bonds. My conclusions: as we have received no verifiable evidence to support or authenticate the reported transfers or final corrected balances for the 1545 Park District, and those that have been publicly reported are significantly different than the ones that we estimate. My opinion is that we cannot corroborate the 1545 Park District's fund balances. 2, my office believes that there exists a defect in the acceptance of appointment by the current 1545 Park Commissioners. It calls into question the authority and legitimacy of all actions taken by this commission pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 3.30, which is failure to give bond. It states that a person elected or appointed to an office who is required by law to give a bond or security previous to the performance of the duties imposed on him by his office, who refuses or neglects to give such bond or furnish such security within the time and in the manner prescribed by law, and in all respects to qualify himself for the performance of such duties, is deemed to have refused to accept the office to which he was elected or appointed. So I therefore respectfully request that the Geauga County Budget Commission elect to advise the Senior State Auditor of the Ohio Auditor State's Office with the foregoing conclusions. That ends the prepared statement. I guess I would make a motion to the balance of the Budget Commission that we submit to the State Auditor, in fact, a letter identifying that we cannot corroborate the balances of the Russell Park District, and further, that we believe there may be a defect in the Park District's legitimacy. Yes.
This microphone was on the Apollo mission.
It's an old time.
I'll second the motion, but then I'll open it up for discussion or questions before we would vote. Because the issue is we have to communicate with the state auditor as to whether we can verify their balances, and since they refuse to give us their accounts report and at least what they've said to news reporters about the amount of money that needs to be transferred is different than what your figures are. I'm in favor of telling the state auditor we can't certify the funds still. But I would open it up for discussion among the board or questions from the audience.
Geraldine, do you have perspective? We can open it up for questions. Let's start. Howard?
Does that mean that the lease that they signed is not valid because they don't have the engineer bond or whatever?
I'm not the park board's legal counsel, but the 1545, the statute under 1545 says that they have to have their bond approved by the county auditor, filed with the county auditor before they can discharge their duties. And then under 303 that Chuck went over, there's additional requirements for the bond. It's my understanding we asked the response from their legal counsel was, check with the county auditor, but the county auditor was the one that was inquiring.
Yeah, the issue with discovering the bond not being present came to light from our compliance officer, the auditor's office, who was actually vetting similar issues which are required by school districts. School districts are required to file their bonds with the auditor's office. For the treasurers of the schools, yes. And so, in the normal course of vetting to make sure that that was being done in